I want to read y'all a part of an op-ed that was written by Alabama Representative Arnold Mooney. Countless factories and manufacturing plants in once great industrial cities of the Rust Belt now sit empty as they rot and decay. The sounds of progress and the voices of eager workers have been replaced with a stony silence that is sometimes interrupted only by the echoing sounds of birds flying in the rafters. Hope has been replaced with hopelessness. Jobs have been replaced with joblessness. Opportunities have been replaced with abandonment. And all of that sadness is the result of labor unions killing the proverbial goose that laid the golden eggs in those areas. Well, ain't that just a dystopian melting pot of what the fuck? This is all part of the ongoing effort to unionize auto plants in the South. And boy, I just do not understand how you can blame unions for capitalism. Unions who have always protected workers from unfair business practices, who've always made sure they've had fair and competitive wages and benefits, and somehow people in Alabama, conservatives in Alabama, people who would benefit from unions have been convinced that unions are to blame for greedy companies doing what greedy companies do. And you have conservatives down here simping for billion-dollar companies going, please sir, may I have another? And every single anti-union person in Alabama uses one specific example to rail against unions. The Goodyear plant in Gaston, Alabama. Well, Goodyear left because of the union. The union ran Goodyear off. No, they fucking didn't. For one, the Goodyear plant in Gaston was open for over 90 years. They closed in 2020. But Goodyear wanted to close the plant in 1999. Through negotiations, not only did the union keep them open, they expanded. And then in 2015, Goodyear built a plant in Mexico and shifted a lot of Gaston's tires down there. Side note, the conditions were so horrible in Mexico that a whole lot of the workers went on strike, and they weren't union, so Goodyear fired them. Then Goodyear started cutting production lines and laying off non-union employees in Gadsden because they were utilizing cheap-ass labor and zero regulations in Mexico while putting their foot in the ass of all the American workers who kept that company afloat for generations. In 2017, the union got a 3-year deal that kept the plant running even though it was at reduced capacity, but it also guaranteed dollars, retirement, and benefits for the employees left. Then in 2020, Goodyear said, hey, we're going to close this damn plant, and the union was able to negotiate buyout packages for all the remaining employees. So please tell me how a gigantic company moves production to Mexico to capitalize off cheap-ass labor and less regulations, and in the process, fuck American workers. And the union negotiates to keep the plant open for way longer than they were originally wanting to, and still negotiate buyout packages for the remaining employees. Please tell me how in that situation the union is the bad guy. What merry-go-round of dumbassery are you riding? Wait, actually, my favorite thing that I hear from anti-union people is, it is up to me and me alone to negotiate the terms of my employment with the company. Okay, I want to see you walk into an office of a big-ass plant that has several thousand employees and be like, this is what I want. See what happens. It's up to me and me alone. Ain't it weird you always hear that from the ones who say, we the people?